Do you love to shop? I love to shop. Like, do you shop while you're working, while you're eating, or even while listening to this podcast? Yeah, we all do it. We all know and love the thrill of the hunt. But are you getting the thrill of the best deals? Rakuten shoppers do, because they get the brands they love with the most savings and cash back. And you can get it too. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Nike, Bloomingdale's, and even Expedia if you're looking to travel. And you'll never miss out because you can even stack sales on top of your cash back. The idea is simple. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cash back through PayPal or check. Rakuten is easy to use. Just download the free Rakuten app now and never miss a deal. Or go to Rakuten.com to start getting the most bang for your buck. That's Rakuten, Rakuten. Happy shopping.
With your long-forgotten name, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
In the words of the unspeakable language, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
By the spilt blood of the wicked, who walk upon this world, sprouting the words of false idols, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
On the land of the dead harvest, that which brings the earth itself into your service, Yamal, we call upon you.
We call upon you. We call upon you. We call upon you.
Yamal calls upon you.
The Sprouting, a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast by Blighthouse Studio. Find us on your podcatcher of choice.
In 2005, two brothers hit the road to chase demons and fight monsters.
Fighting a couple of angels, too.
And eventually save the world.
A bunch of times. Over 15 years, this series has built one of the most dedicated fan bases in all of entertainment, and that fan base is near and dear to our hearts.
That's right. I'm Rob Benedict. I played Chuck Shirley, a.k.a. God.
And you do a darn good job, too, buddy.
Aw, thanks.
Well, I'm Richard Spade Jr. I played Loki, the Trickster, and Gabriel, and I directed a bunch of episodes.
Wow, is that it?
Well, I directed you. I don't know. What do you think?
Though we worked on the show for years, we never sat down and watched the entire series.
But that was then, and this is now.
That's right. We are watching each episode and inviting the actors, the writers, producers, and crew to join us in digging into the story, the characters, and the mythology.
These guests share some fantastic behind-the-scenes stories with us. You're going to love those, and you're going to get our honest opinion about each and every episode. That's right. Those guests share some fantastic behind-the-scenes stories with us, and each episode gets a full, honest, and unfettered review from Rob and Rich. And you get to learn a little bit about how TV is made. Lord knows we have.
A warning, there are spoilers. And don't get frustrated that we haven't caught details for multiple viewings or that we know what happens 3 seasons from now. This is the first time we're watching these episodes. And you're there for the ride as we watch with our virgin eyes.
Oh, that's creepy. Thanks for joining us on our journey as we deepen our understanding about why you love this series so much.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Benedict.
And I'm Richard Spade.
And we're talking about episode 517, season 5, episode 17, 99 Problems.
But what's not one of them, Robbie?
A female dog.
I thought you'd say, but a rich ain't one.
That's good. That's better. Hey, well, before we get into this, 99 Problems and a rich ain't one, we want to remind you to follow us on TikTok or Instagram.
Please, God, follow us on TikTok.
Or Instagram.
Or Instagram. Just pick one. Or do both.
To see video highlights of our interviews. You'll see your favorite writers, actors, and producers from the show, live and in the flesh.
How do we know who their favorites are? That's a bit forward of us.
Because we've tapped into their email. We know these things.
No wonder. That's why we want them on TikTok, so we can get into their personal stuff.
Exactly. Now,
nice.
If you and I can just figure out how to get onto TikTok. I'm Tick and you're Talk.
Why don't you do the thing that you do pretty darn well, where you summarize the episode on the fly?
Sam and Dean are in Blue Earth, Minnesota. And at the time of this recording, Blue Earth is actually experiencing historical flooding Homes, businesses, and lives have been impacted. So we'll post some links for different ways to support. Our hearts go out to the people of Blue Earth, Minnesota.
Absolutely.
The boys are fleeing a mob of demons in the Impala.
The mob of demons got in the Impala? Oh, my God.
The boys who are driving the Impala are fleeing a mob of demons.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Suddenly, a burning truck appears in their way. That old biblical burning truck.
The old burning truck. Yeah.
They get dragged out of the car by the demons, but are saved by a group who call themselves the Sacrament Lutheran Militia, who spray holy water out of a fire truck hose before exorcising the demons with Enochian verses spoken through a bullhorn.
Yeah, pretty handy.
Yeah.
Pretty effective.
It was very
Efficient?
Walking Dead.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a very Walking Dead moment. It's a whole town of hunters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
The boys aren't sure what to make of being rescued.
They should have considered changing the name of the area to Hunterton
Sure. They could change Blue Earth to Hunterton.
or Huntsville, like Alabama.
Sure. The town has been overrun by demons, and the survivors have banded together. They are followers of the pastor Gideon, but even more so of his daughter, Leah, who claims to be a prophet who is speaking to the angels.
Yeah,
One of those again.
yeah.
Leah has a vision about several demons in a house outside of town. Sam, Dean, Gideon, and a few additional townsfolks head to the house to investigate. They discover a hive of over a dozen demons.
Ah,
The team quickly wipes them out. They're all just a lot of teamwork happening here.
it's all teamwork.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A young man asks to ride back to town in the Impala with Sam and Dean. However, the young man gets surprised by a demon hiding under the car, a very cute demon who just happens to be hiding under the car. And she quickly somehow just fillets his neck open.
That's true. The cute demon does kill him under the car, but not before Sam and Dean serve alcohol to a minor.
Yeah.
So not before that little chestnut happens.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Yeah, totally. The victim's mother is distraught. However, Leah says the young man will be resurrected on Judgment Day.
Oh, well, there you go. Problem solved.
Yeah, she says that the members of the town are the chosen ones and will be given paradise on earth.
Oh, well then, what are we upset about?
Nothing. If they all follow the rules she is delivering from the angels, such as, no drinking and no sex.
And that's when Rob left town.
It's a deal breaker.
Well, where's Benedict going? I just see the shadow I just see his glasses and mustache hovering in the air.
The outline of me in the door.
Yeah.
The local bartender isn't a true believer, and Leah sends a group to run him out of town.
Uncool.
In a confrontation, the mother ends up shooting the bartender. She believed he stood in the way of her son's resurrection.
Yeah, I mean, her intentions are pure from a mother's standpoint.
I thought that was sudden. I thought that was really sudden, the way that she just offed him.
She's emotional,
Okay. Sam calls Castiel for guidance. Cass shows up drunk. Oh, by the way, I thought it was funny when he calls him and his message machine is like, "Whoa, why do you need my name?"
I thought that was funny, too.
He found a liquor store and he drank it.
He drank the whole liquor store?
Yeah. He's despondent of the news from the previous episode that the god, his father, has no intention or interest in helping to save the world. Castiel sees through Leah's lies. She isn't a prophet, but, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
She's the whore of Babylon.
The what of Babylon?
The whore of Babylon.
The what of Babylon?
The whore.
Man, you love saying that.
Her goal is to condemn as many souls to hell as she can. The only...
While wearing a sweater. Because she looks like a school teacher.
Yeah. The only being that can kill her is a true servant of the Lord.
Right.
Sam and Dean have been rejecting angels' wishes. Castiel has been cast out of heaven. So that leaves the group convincing Gideon to kill Leah, his daughter.
But that's his daughter.
Yeah. But they say it isn't really his daughter.
Well, easy for them to say, but she looks like his daughter.
Well, it's the whore of Babylon.
Oh, you love saying that.
She was killed by the whore of Babylon.
All right, quit hammering it home. Can't we just say the lady that we know came to town from Babylon? Can't we just, do you have to?
Sure. The lady who happens to be a lady of the night.
Who's Babylonian.
She quickly casts him aside and has Dean pinned down. In a desperate move, Dean grabs the cypress stake and stabs her in the heart, killing her. And Sam is concerned that Dean has secretly had a change of heart and is willing to be the vessel for Michael.
Yeah, because he's no servant of the Lord.
Right. Why did that work? Sure enough, Dean ditches Sam to go to surrender himself to Michael. Before he does, he makes a stop at his unrequited love's house. That's Lisa Braden, if you're keeping score. And he says goodbye to her and grieve the life he would never have.
He would never have that life, Robert.
Yeah.
Never have that life.
And that really messes her up. I mean, she's just kind of trying to, go on with her business, and Dean shows up. So I didn't get that's what he's going to do. He's going to surrender himself to Michael.
I only assumed it, only because he peeled out of town so quickly with Sam going, "Darn!" So I just assumed something was up.
Right. What did Sam say?
Darn!
So lots going on here. I'll start with very impressive guest cast.
100%. The actress Kayla Maloney, who played Leah, was great.
Larry Poindexter.
Larry Poindexter, who played Gideon, is great.
Bruce Ramsey, Michael Shanks, all terrific. And then, of course, Cindy Sampson at the end. We see her again. Everybody's so great. Really, really good.
But, they are. But I'm going to, again, I know she's our interview, but
here we go.
Shine an extra strong light on Kayla, who I think the whole thing hinged on her.
Yeah.
And she just crushed it. I totally bought that she was a prophet.
Yep.
The turn was awesome, and I didn't see it coming. And then her performance, when she starts giving away the game a little bit, piece by piece, is also incredibly creepy and well done.
Right. There's a lot going on here. You're right. Totally. She nails it. And, it's one of those great writing things where, she's so innocent. How could it be her? And then when you find out it is her, you're like, of course it was her the whole time,
Yeah. Don't let the sweater fool you.
Yeah. But yeah, she does a terrific turn.
She does. Well, I mean, listen, we need to get into the brass tacks here, the whole thing. And that is the Rob and Rich ratings.
Right. Well, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Not easy.
No.
Not easy.
Yeah, no. I liked the episode. I just thought the strength of the guest cast. I wondered if Michael Shanks was already up there doing one of his other shows, and I
don't know.
They must have. I almost feel like they're friends with him. But the guest cast was just terrific,
right?
And then you got Charles Beeson directing.
Yeah, you got the full boat of solid perennial favorites. I'm going to go ahead and give my beard rating, if you don't mind. I'm ready to go.
Oh wow! All right, okay.
I'm not giving this one a Stapleton, but there's a lot to love here. And again, I think it hinges on another home run guest star in Kayla Maloney. I'm giving this the C. Everett Koop.
Who's that?
A former Surgeon General of the United States.
How are people supposed to?
Had an unbelievable beard, no mustache, but just a fantastically strong and well-groomed beard.
Like what year are we talking? The 1800s or?
Like Reagan years, and then I believe into...
Nobody knows who that is.
You don't know who C. Everett, former Surgeon General C. Everett Koop?
No, we don't know the former Surgeon General from the 80s. No, we didn't... no one has that.
That's weird.
So beard, no mustache.
Yeah, I mean, I'll while you're fumbling to make your choice, I'll dial up a photo.
I liked it. I liked her.
Yeah, man.
I liked all the guest stars.
Yeah, he served as the Surgeon General, the 13th Surgeon General to the United States under President Reagan from 1982 to 1989.
Huh.
Yeah, and there he is. If you want to see the C. Everett Koop.
Oh, great.
That's a great beard. He just has no mustache.
Yeah, never seen that man ever before.
You're ridiculous.
Larry Poindexter in this had a good beard, right? He had a beard in the...
No, he just had a scruff.
He has scruff?
Yeah, he didn't have a beard. You're really grasping here.
Yeah, I'm...
Well, why don't you pick another Surgeon General that you like that had good...
I've got it. You just calm down. It's my turn. Okay. I'm going to do the same. I do like, in spite of the fact that no one knows who that person is, I do like the idea that it's a beard and without a mustache. So I'm going to give it the Abe Lincoln.
The Abe Lincoln. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. Which people, I would assume a few people might know him more than Michael J. Michelson or whoever the hell you just said.
First of all, the Koop family knows C. Everett better. Okay. I'll tell you that right now. They know C. Everett better than they know Abe Lincoln. He's a member of their family.
Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't one of the perfect ones, but it was really, really, really good. And the other thing I think I'm a little confused about is we're in full on apocalypse. It's happening.
Feels like that.
Everywhere. We just happen to be in this small town and it's happening here.
I mean, it was a weird start too. I'll also give you that we sort of were in the middle of a thing and Sam's bleeding and they're driving. I honestly thought I'd missed something and stopped and went backwards.
Right.
I'm like, wait, I missed a start here. But no, it's just starts like that.
But I guess that makes sense. I mean, it's the apocalypse. So you got to think weird things are happening everywhere.
Right. Exactly. And then this town would be, different towns would be surviving in best ways they know how. This town is doing, all rallying behind Larry Poindexter and his daughter Kayla.
I just have to sort of
Maloney.
take a second and go, this is bigger than I anticipated it was going to get.
This review?
No, talking about the show Supernatural that you and I are watching.
Right.
It's bigger than I thought it was ever gonna get. Like it's
Oh, dude, no, it was a well-liked show. It had an audience.
no, not that. I'm just saying that the show itself, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be the apocalypse, it's gonna be it, but then the boys save the day and it never comes. But this is like it's happened. It's happening.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like I don't even know
Yeah.
how they keep this going for another 10 years. You know
I
what
don't
mean?
think they do, but I think they wrap this up pretty quickly.
You're just intolerable.
Well, look, I think you and I found a lot to love in this episode.
Yeah.
Were we critical? Sure. That's why people come here to hear our astute, laser-like dissections of each episode.
Yeah.
I feel like we've delivered, and in so doing, we shaved off the mustaches of two gentlemen and turned them over as reviews in the Abe Lincoln and the C. Everett Koop.
And reintroduce people to C. Everett Koop, the Surgeon General of the 1980s.
13th Surgeon General of the United States serving under Ronald Reagan. That's
We
correct.
salute you, sir. Okay. We have a real treat. The one and only Kayla Mae Maloney,
What? The woman who basically held the whole episode together?
the glue of the episode.
Yes, man.
She's been a guest on numerous television shows, including CSI Miami, The Glades, Bones, Criminal Minds, and Heartland. And in this episode, of course, she played Leah and also the whore of Babylon. And we're delighted to speak to her.
Darn right we are. Let's do it.
This is our interview with Kayla. Kayla, thank you so much for joining us. This is great.
Thank you for having me. This is something I haven't thought about in quite a long time.
I bet.
Yeah, we're really jarring the memory bank.
Yeah.
Totally. I was like, oh my God, yeah.
All right. Okay, so as best as you can remember, what was the story about being cast as Leah in this episode?
It's funny because now I've been thinking about it since you guys reached out for me to do this. I do remember I had one audition and it was like one of the easier parts that I got. I remember auditioning for Robert Ulrich, UDK casting, who I saw
Yep.
all the time back in that day.
Sure.
And it was like a really kind of quick, simple audition. And I left feeling like, okay, maybe that went well. I don't know. But it was really fun. And it was definitely something I really wanted to do it because it was such a cool character to play.
Did you remember if in the audition if you played like the innocent part or the sinister part or both?
I think,
Or a combo.
you know what? I think it was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
There was definitely a lot of the sweet, innocent part. And then I think I had a scene, the more emotional scene with Larry Poindexter, who played my dad,
Okay.
where I come in emotional about the angels being mad and stuff like that. So I had to do that. I don't know if I really had quite the sinister in that audition. I don't remember, but I remember it being the emotional and then the sweet. And I was playing up the sweet part a lot.
Yeah.
It's interesting you're talking about the audition process, and I think for a lot of, obviously people in the business know this far too well. But those listening who are not involved, it's the X factor that is so challenging when you're an actor. Is you go in and do your work and do your best work and think you've done well, but literally have no idea what their take is.
Right.
If they think you knocked out of the ball, if they think you were completely wrong, you wouldn't go, it's the, like you said, I think I did well. I think it went well.
And it's so true. And as I was thinking about this just earlier today, I was like, all the auditions I had, the ones that I left feeling like, oh my God, I nailed it. I never got those. And then the ones that you leave and you're like, I totally messed that up. And then you get it and you're like, what? So
It's the old rule of you really have no idea what they're looking for.
yeah, exactly. Or even really what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You never
Yeah.
remember. Did I say that?
Yeah.
I don't even remember saying
Totally.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you got a call back, you're like, oh God, what did I do?
Right. I know. I got to wear the same.
Find that shirt.
Yeah.
Totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now that we're all on tape, you have even less of an idea of what they thought.
Yeah, I know.
Are you still in Los Angeles based?
No, I live in Austin
Oh wow, cool.
How long have you lived in Austin?
for about 3.5 years.
Was it a COVID move?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people did that.
I know. I moved here with my husband and 2 kids at the time. We now have 3 kids. We
Congratulations.
moved here from Seattle.
Oh, cool.
Moved all over. I went from LA to New York to New Jersey to Seattle to Austin.
Oh my God.
Now, what inspired this move from Seattle to Austin? Because was it COVID related or just?
No, I mean we had moved from New Jersey to Seattle for my husband's job. And then we got there, and a few months later it was COVID, and we were like, why are we here now? Because now my husband's like working from home, and so then we were like, if we could live anywhere, where would we go? And we handpicked Austin.
It seems
awesome.
seems to be a popular place for people. A lot of people, that we know from the show even have moved there. Jared, who played Sam, lives there now. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. You know what's so crazy is that when we moved here, like very shortly when we got here, I was at a grocery store at H-E-B. H-E-B are like, it's the grocery store in Texas. And I saw Jared.
That's funny.
I was like, oh my God, is that really Jared Padalecki? But we were like far, and then I didn't get to see him to actually say hi. But I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I like see him right away. It's so funny.
That is funny. So when you auditioned for the show, were you aware of it? Did you know anything about Supernatural? Do you remember?
I mean, I knew that it was like a kind of popular show, but I didn't really know much about it. No.
Yeah, same. when we auditioned, we had to sort of do some research because we weren't as aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not knowing about the show and this not being the Netflix era of being able to catch up on it, were you able to do any recon or just kind of wing it?
No, I mean, I feel like anytime I was auditioning for a show, I tried to watch it or at least look up and see the characters in it, at least like find some kind of scenes on YouTube or, something so I could see like the tone and the overall, gist of it.
Right.
Never really went into something like completely blindly. That's just that's not a good idea.
Right.
I always try to do something. So I'm sure I looked up who was behind it. And then I would always look up like directors and see what other stuff they directed and what, just to get a gist of every part that I could.
Yeah.
Auditioning for it.
What did you know about the character you were playing in terms of its biblical reference?
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't either.
I didn't know anything. I just was like the whore of Babylon. Like, oh my God.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah.
I know. Looks funny on a resume.
Yeah, it's not subtle.
I know. It's like so ridiculous that it's like, I'm like, Mom, guess
hey
what?
guys, can we change this to the spicy lady of Babylon?
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay. And it was like, we talked about that on set. Everyone's like, oh, aren't you so happy now you get to always forever say you played the whore of Babylon? It's like, yeah, I can't wait to one day tell my kid.
But you're really great. I mean, it's a tough part to play because, we really trust you at the beginning. We think, oh, this girl's dialed in and we think you're a prophet. And
it makes sense in the story because we've met Chuck the prophet. We've met other people like that. Everything that we're seeing up to that point kind of makes sense. Yeah. We should start this by saying you did a great job.
You're awesome. And then, when you do the turn, it's very believable and scary. By the end of it, you're scary,
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
As a podcast network, our focus is bringing you shows you love to listen to. But we also sell merch related to those shows. And partnering with Shopify has made that both possible and simple for us to do. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor adventures, Shopify helps you sell everywhere because they've got you covered from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. What's so fantastic about Shopify is how, no matter how big you want to grow, they provide everything you need to get control of your business so you can take it to the next level. Businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/realm.
A bloodbath tonight in the rural town of Chinook.
Everyone here is hiding a secret.
4 more victims found scattered.
Some worse than others.
I came as fast as I could. I'm Deputy Ruth Vogel.
And soon, my quiet life will never be the same.
Realm presents a 30 Ninjas production, Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you for supporting Supernatural then and now. And now, back to the show.
That creepy ass face thing is really
this will
heebie-jeebies.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I remember like having to do that, and Charles, our director, being like really like not nice, like not sweet, not soft, like really growl, and I was like, okay. It was like,
all right, so you were, because obviously there was some visual effect element, but you were doing something like going or
I
something
had
in
to
the
like
middle
look
of
in the
the
mirror
scenes?
and do this like exactly what you just did, do this growl like over and over again.
Oh,
okay, I'm gonna go. Let's just do an exercise here. Pretend the computer is the mirror, and we're back in time. Give me a little R. Like, give me a bit. Let's see.
I had to go R.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There you go.
That's it.
There you
wow.
Go. I'm petrified.
We are lucky because not everybody's going to see this, and we got to see that.
They're going to hear it. They're going to get the growl.
So you mentioned Charles Beeson, who has passed, but he was a legendary director.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything else about working with Charles?
He was so awesome. And I was just, again, like recalling all of this stuff. He was really very calm and relaxed as a director. There was never any kind of moment where he was like flustered or frustrated or like trying to be fit. You know, he was just so calm and like lovely and approachable and like really took time to talk to us. And it was just like an awesome experience working with him.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he was really lovely.
That's you were like one of the lucky ones that you got to work with him. Mm-hmm. Everyone who worked with him said that, just loved him.
Yeah, he's a real gentleman.
Yeah.
As sort of the term goes. I mean, it's sort of that old school British gent,
Yeah, and he was easy to come talk to. There was like, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but all throughout the episode, I'm wearing like 500 layers. I had like a shirt and then a collared shirt and then a cardigan and then a sweater. And like they were trying.
Really? I don't think I noticed that.
They were trying to really like play up this like cardigan suite thing. And I said to him, I was like, I feel like Ralphie in A Christmas Story. Like I can't put my arms down. And I was like, can I just like lose a layer? And he was like, yes, of course. Like take something off because I just had
oh my God.
stuff on.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes of that movie too.
Yeah.
No, look, we're talking about Charles Beeson, who's obviously one of the mainstays of the Supernatural family, but obviously Jared and Jensen, you worked with those dudes a fair amount.
Yeah.
What was your introduction to them like, and your experience with them?
I mean, so I knew of Jared from like Gilmore Girls. So I was like, that's Dean. Like, and they were both so sweet and so nice and just like easy to be around. And I wasn't really like nervous around them. It was just, they were just like really awesome and nice and welcoming and like two good guys. That was my experience. We were like, we would chit chat in between the scenes and stuff. And they were just like easy, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from New Jersey.
Are you?
Because
they're Texas boys, and now you live in Texas, but you're not a Texas person originally. You're originally East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Jersey girl.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you had to play this turn from innocent prophet to sinister cult leader. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember sort of what you channeled or how you sort of played each? You just kind of like followed what's on the page, or?
Yeah, I mean, are you asking about like the duality of it and like?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because at that point in my career, I played a lot of characters that had this duality to them. And I think because I was always playing so much younger than I really was, it kind of I already like came with this like kind of extra little something that I guess my age did. And it was like maybe playing against type. But so I think I had a little bit of that innately. But as far as like navigating that, I mean, playing up just being really sweet is obviously easy. And then like that kind of sinister thing, I always like love to kind of incorporate like some of my scenes have this like little smile on my face. And I always found it more profound to play someone so sinister if you've got like a little smile on your face.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's like creepy and like, oh my God, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Especially when you're asking them to like light the people on fire that are in the closet.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I was just rewatching that. I had forgotten that scene. I was like, oh God, that's so terrible.
I know.
But I was like,
yeah, I mean, it's so well done, your turn. Of course, it's supernatural. Of course, we know something strange is going to happen, and everybody's kind of like, what weird thing is going on here? But we really don't get that it's going to be you. We're kind of following your dad, Larry Poindexter's path of like when he starts going, like the audience is him, basically.
Right.
Kind of going
like, oh God, right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So I just thought and of course it's very well written and classic Charles Beeson and his pacing, but your performance is great. Nothing is given away until it's given away, and then it's a really cool moment.
Yeah, I feel like that moment was like that church scene where I tell my dad, like, I'll name you next, and then that was like, oh my God.
Well, that was the one, but then even the one before where you're like, you did the right thing, killing Dave.
Or yeah, right. I know, I know.
Wait a minute, hold on now. Wait, what? And your dad's like, How does that work?
You know what's so funny? That's like in rewatching, I'm like, I don't even remember that scene that much. I remember like standing there and holding both of their hands, and it was really kind of this like funny moment because they're like, I was in my 20s when I did this, and they were like adults, and here I am holding their hands, like, just trust me, like, you've done the right thing. And it was like this kind of odd thing, but I was like, oh, I forgot about that scene.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, like, and it's very sort of almost Christ-like in the way that, like, Jesus is a child telling rabbis what to do.
Yeah, right.
There's certain role reversal in that regard.
Yeah. The cult
and everybody in the cast also. I mean, shout out to the entire group of everybody because everybody's great, and it makes for a believable dynamic in that time.
Yeah. Have you guys talked to Larry? Have you talked?
No.
Okay.
No, we haven't talked to anybody else.
No, but Larry's one of those dudes that I've crossed paths with a ton in my life. Just in the town and the industry. He's such a good dude and does a great job in this episode.
And then Michael Shanks is also I've crossed paths with Michael through the years. But yeah, it was a great guest cast. Yeah. And I didn't know the other actor who played the bartender that you rally against.
Yeah, I never had a scene with him. I don't even think maybe I did. I don't think I spoke to him.
Right.
Like, I don't think we really crossed paths enough.
Yeah, he was
but
good too.
He did a great job. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get to do this death scene with Jensen. Do you remember choreographing that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah? What was that like?
I remember someone took a picture of me, like, just, basically straddling Jensen as we were, like, waiting to film. I don't know who took this picture. And then they gave it to me, and I had a blog at the time. And I was like, as soon as the show came out, I was like, behind the scenes, tough day at the office, like laying on top of Jensen. Yeah, I remember choreographing that. And then there was, of course, like, obviously special effects at the end. And I think I had to do another growl, but I do remember that.
You're strangling him at first, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of fumbling for the stick.
Yeah. And then he's got to, like, throw me off, and that we, like, very much faked that because obviously he wasn't really throwing me off.
Right.
Yeah. And then I remember we had to kind of nail down my, like, power that I had where I, like, was pushing everyone to the wall.
That was cool too. That was not something we'd seen. I mean, we obviously see a lot of supernatural forces at work in the show, and a lot of people snap and people fly or flip their hand, but I hadn't really seen that, it was kind of a unique way that she interacted with people.
It was super awkward to do in real life because I just had to, like, throw my hands up and and, like, then like something had happened, and it was super weird. And I remember thinking, like, are you getting this? Are you gonna, how much are you fixing this in post? Because it feels so awkward. But
it would have been cool if you had to do that and the growl at the same time.
I know.
And then at the end, you're impaled with the stake.
Right.
Was that all special effects, or did you actually have one of those things around your torso?
Yeah, you're wearing the stake on the front and back.
I'm not sure if I'm going to remember this correctly. I feel like maybe I did have something on me that was, like, connected to something, but I don't think I even remember. I don't know. I just remember laying there, and the special effects guy, I was like, can you help me out? Like, it was great. I don't remember his name, but I remember, like, laying there and having to do some weird convulsions and growling and, like, looking at him and being like, is this okay? And he was like, yeah, great.
Well, you did great. It's like I said, it's a challenging part playing both those sides, and then having to do, like, the fight at the end. And it's not easy as a guest star to come in and to take charge. Right. Essentially, you're taking charge of the set, really, because you're the person, and it's and you nailed it. You did great.
I have a question about that. So, as people know who listen to the podcast, we talk a lot about how things are shot out of order.
Yeah.
Because, you're starting up day one, and maybe you're killing Dean day one. So, out of curiosity, how much innocent version did you get to play before you had to go evil, or were you evil out of the gate? Like, how did that play out schedule-wise?
Oh, you know what? I almost think it was, oddly enough, almost a little bit more chronological. I feel like I did start out a lot of the sweet stuff. I feel like we did a lot of the church scenes, like where I fall out of the pew, and we had that scene with me and Jensen, like the one-on-one scene that we had, which again, I was still sweet. So I actually feel like for most of it in the beginning was sweet. And I do think the end scene we filmed closer to the end of the filming.
Oh, that's great. That helps, and doesn't always happen.
You're right. It very rarely happens, and that it's easier. It was much easier to do it that way.
Yeah. And were you living in LA at the time?
I was.
Right. So you moved to Vancouver for a couple of weeks.
It's funny. It was my first job that I booked that was out of LA. And that year, everything I did was out of LA. There was like not one show did I film that was in LA, and I went all over. But Vancouver was the first time that like I got to fly, and go shoot this. And it was so exciting,
That's cool.
as an actor to have that be your first, like, I'm going out of town. And and it was right before the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
So it was like a little bustle to Vancouver. And I mean, I love Vancouver, and it was all around just an amazing experience.
Yeah, that was a cool time to be in Vancouver. Robbie and I both shot episodes around that same time. And I remember in my little room, and I know you know what I'm talking about, Rob, because you stayed there after me.
Yeah.
It had windows, and I saw the torch jog by my window. The guy
so
that
cool.
Oh my God.
I was like, hey, that's
Did
cool.
you guys get the Jappa dog?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that? What's the Jappa dog?
The hot dog
like
stand.
Jappa dog. Kind of hot dog.
Right, yeah.
The umami hot dog. Yeah, it was
right near the Sutton, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
That thing is so good. I still will, if I'm up there and that's there, I will zip by the Jappa dog at least once.
Everyone was like, you have to have one. You have to have one.
Yeah.
All right, you don't have to twist my arm.
You had me a hot dog.
Yeah.
Well, you do such a great job in the episode. Truly, the Supernatural, always obviously has a strong lead cast, but man, they anchor themselves to the strength of the guest cast because the guest cast is so unusually important in the show. This is not crime of the week stuff. It's unique, leveled, nuanced work that guest casts are asked to do, and
Thank you.
You crushed it. You did a great job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And the episode works because, you really sell the whole character and the twist, and it's super, super creepy. That whole face bit.
It really is. It's one of the creepier ones. That you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen a lot of, up to this point, Robbie and I are not, even though we were involved in the show, we didn't watch a ton of it. So we're watching in real time, and this is the first time I've seen this episode. But we've seen up until this episode, and I haven't seen a lot of visual effects enhanced face stuff like this. Like, this is the first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. I wouldn't have guessed that.
It's trippy.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, enjoy Austin.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming and doing this. Congrats on the family.
Thank you, guys. Nice to meet you virtually. Thanks for having me.
You too. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We are going to take a quick break. Hey, it's Jeffrey D. Morgan again. Welcome back to the podcast.
So lovely to talk to Kayla.
She's great, man. She's so great in the episode, and what a delightful human being to have on the podcast.
Absolutely. So let's get on to the mythology of this episode.
Oh, let's do it. Here we go. Mythology.
The Whore of Babylon is a symbolic figure.
The what of Babylon?
The Whore of Babylon.
You love saying that.
She's a whore.
You love saying it.
Is a symbolic figure from the book of Revelation in the New Testament of the Bible. She's depicted as a personification of evil and corruption and is a key figure in Christian mythology.
She is described as being adorned in purple and scarlet, which I'm not sure I can tell the difference between those two colors.
Me neither.
But okay. Adorned in purple and scarlet, glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She holds a golden cup full of abominations and the filth of her adulteries. She rides a scarlet beast that is covered with blasphemous names and has 7 heads and 10 horns. Well, at least she's an animal lover. Like, let's look at the positive. And hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second. She holds up a golden cup of abominations. Good luck getting those into a cup and staying there.
Yeah.
And then the filth is full of also the filth of her adultery. She's not an adulterer. She's not married. She's a lady of the night. I don't think that doesn't count as adultery, does it?
So she's getting paid for her wares.
Yeah, but that's just a job.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you.
You know?
I'm agreeing with you.
And then she's got, by the way, I don't know what she costs, but a couple of ducats because she can obviously afford glittering gold, precious stones, and pearls, and a golden cup.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't say she's holding a styrofoam cup full of abominations. She's got a golden cup.
And she should be called the sex worker of Babylon.
Yeah, I mean, times have changed. Come on, Bible.
Yeah, and I also feel like maybe wardrobe missed a cue here. Like we could have seen Leah wearing some more purple and...
I think it's a bummer that her Scarlet Beast got tagged with a bunch of blasphemous names.
Yeah.
He's like, great. I already have 7 heads and 10 horns. And then somebody spray painted jerk face and butt breath on my torso. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it would have been nice too if she was like maybe driving some big ass purple car with.
What are blasphemous names? Like, can you give me one blasphemous name?
I mean, it's like
a blasphemous from your pastimus name.
Is like goddamn, isn't that blasphemous?
Yeah, but that's not. There's nobody's name. Nobody goes, hey, goddamn, come on in for dinner. Like, there's nobody named that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking Dave.
Lucifer.
That's his name.
Fucking Dave. You, Larry.
It doesn't even like blasphemous names kind of sound like this animal sounds kind of funny.
Yeah, it's funny. It doesn't say this that it should say she rides a scarlet beast. A hilarious
think when they were
scarlet
writing
beast.
the Bible and they came in and he's like, hey, maybe go back and tweak the whole beast bit. It kind of reads funny. It's not funny at all. Blasphemous names abound on the side of the beast. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You're going for something here. I don't think it's working. You got 7 heads and 10 horns. You got an odd number of heads and an even number of horns. What's that other horn? Are you sure it's a horn and not a wang? Are you sure you're not doing a wang joke here, Dave?
Ooh, wang. That could be one of the blasphemous names. Throughout history, the sex worker of Babylon has been variously interpreted by different Christian denominations and scholars. Some have seen her as representing the Roman Empire, while others have identified her with the Catholic Church or more broadly with any institution or entity that embodies spiritual corruption and opposition to God's will. Wow.
And others have identified her as somebody who's just pretty flippin' hot and loves to party.
That's right. And is from Babylon.
That they all agree on. Local girl hailing from these parts, our very own whore. All right, time for some fun facts. Fun facts! Fun facts! Fun facts! Fun facts!
The title of this episode is the same as the 2004 Jay-Z song. And also, it's the 99th episode.
Ooh, that's clever.
I did not realize that.
No, got the 99th episode and Rich isn't on it. The real Blue Earth, Minnesota has a 55-foot tall fiberglass statue of the Jolly Green Giant who marks the midpoint of I-90, America's longest highway.
Huh.
But you know another reason why they use that city and the Jolly Green Giant for this episode specifically?
Why?
Because you know what that dude always says?
What?
Ho, ho, ho.
The Jolly Green Giant says ho, ho, ho?
Ho, ho, ho.
Really?
Yeah, man. And what's this episode about? A ho, ho, ho from Babylonia.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was good.
Ho, 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 Babylon.
All right, I buy it. The town the episode takes place in, Blue Earth, Minnesota, previously appeared in Salvation. It was the location of Pastor Jim Murphy and where he was killed by Meg.
Man.
A lot of religion happening in Blue Earth, Minnesota.
Nothing jolly about that Green Giant.
Mm-mm.
In the opening, when Dean and Sam are chased and caught by demons, the Impala's passenger window, that'd be Sam's side for people keeping track at home and who aren't British, gets smashed by a demon who tries to pull Sam out. When Sam and Dean follow Rob and his militia to their base, the Impala's window is intact when they park up behind the red truck.
Ah.
Ooh, F up.
Somebody's
F up alert.
Fired. Wow. The final scene between Dean and Lisa was originally in the next episode, Point of No Return. However, this episode was running a bit short, so they moved it up.
And you know what that means? That means paycheck for Cindy Sampson. Woo! Didn't know she's in this episode. Now she's in this episode. Hello, paycheck.
Right. Wow. Okay. So wait, if you're is Cindy in Point of No Return, we don't know yet.
I don't know. We haven't seen there.
If she shoots this and then they move it to a different episode, she'd get paid for that 2 different episodes?
I just guessed that. I don't know. Oh. I assume so.
So I thought you were our SAG rep. You're our on-camera SAG rep. Well, those are fun facts. That was certainly some fun facts.
Yeah. I like my ho-ho-ho find. I feel like I get the blue ribbon of the day.
You win.
I think I should get to ride on the beast with the blasphemous names all over its side, you know?
You should.
For a little bit.
You know, it could be one of the most blasphemous name of it all, right there on the hood. Dick. Yeah.
But that's not, again, that's just kind of dirty, but is it blasphemous?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it either, man. I like fucking Dave. When are we going to see Mark Pellegrino on the show again? I feel like...
Get bent, Larry. I don't know when we do. When he pops up.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope soon. Also, I feel like we got a Sebastian Roche entrance soon.
Oh, mercy. Well, good that'll be a treat.
Yeah. Continue with us, won't you, for the next episode next week?
Yeah, might as well. You're already here. Stick around for that one.
Until then, I've been Rob Benedict.
And I've been Rob Benedict's mustache.
That's right. We'll see you next time. This episode of Supernatural features Jared Padalecki as Sam Winchester, Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester, and Misha Collins as Castiel.
Guest stars included Kayla Mae Maloney, Cindy Sampson, Larry Poindexter, Bruce Ramsey, Michael Shanks, and Joanna Newmarch. 99 Problems was written by Julie Siege and directed by Charles Beeson. Editing by Tom McQuaid, music by Christopher Lennertz.
Executive produced by Eric Kripke and Robert Singer.
The original broadcast of this episode featured the following songs: Too Hot to Stop by Mark Ferrari and Steve Plunkett.
Yeah.
Interesting little trivia for you. I had a band after college called Fugitive Pope with my buddy Sammy and lovely Larry Pennings, and we got signed to a very small record label called Neurotic Records and did one record, and our producer was Steve Plunkett.
No way.
Yes. So Fugitive Pope producer Steve Plunkett.
Same Steve Plunkett?
Mm-hmm.
This episode originally aired on April 8th, 2010. This episode of Supernatural Then and Now was hosted and executive produced by Richard Spade Jr. and Rob Benedict.
Produced by Stephen Hine. Written by Stephen Hine and Haida Holscher.
And edited and associate produced by Trey Boudet.
What's up, a booty?
Music provided by Tim Wynn.
The episode was recorded with the help of Sonic Fuel Studios.
This podcast is from Story Mill Media.
Follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at SPN Then and Now.
And won't you consider becoming a member of the podcast at patreon.com/SPN Then and Now. Hey everybody, I'm Rob Benedict.
Oh, for the love of Pete, Steve. Record when we start the podcast, not in the middle of it. Sigh. Go again, Rob.
Story Mill Media.
Talmor, Sheshin Marachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming, and death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go Network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.